From your Chapter 16 folder, open the file Chapter 16 03 Schedules for Documentation. In the project browser, scroll down until you find the Schedules section and open the schedule Lighting Fixture Schedule. We can adjust the way that this schedule looks by editing fields and by editing the appearance of the schedule for when it gets onto the sheet. One of the biggest changes in this release is the fact that when you change the width of a column, that column width is reflected both on the sheet and in the schedule view. So let's see what we can do with the schedule before we place it on the sheet. I'd really like to have a nice description for each light fitting. So back in the Properties palette, let's go for Fields. And under Fields, scroll down until we find Type Comments. Add Type Comments to the list of scheduled fields and move it up to the top of the list. While we're here, select Count and Cost and move those down. Click on OK. Under Type Comments, we can give each type of light fitting a description. Let's call Type A 600 by 600 2-lamp surface luminaire and press Enter. This change will be applied to all elements of this type. I'm happy with that, so click on OK. We can do the same for Type B. Rather than type that whole thing in again, click on the right hand end of the field and you'll see the description pops up. Yes, we want to affect the change, but I want to make a further change and make this a 600 by 1200. Make the change again, and then we've now affected all our Type Bs. We can do the same for Type C. And this one's a 3-lamp. I'd now like to do something about the sourcing and how these elements are grouped. So under Sorting and Grouping, let's sort by type mark. That way we'll get the A's together, the B's together, etc. Click on OK. It would be nice if the type mark was at the beginning of the schedule. So click on Fields, select Type Mark and move that to the top. Click on OK. We're now getting somewhere. Click on the Formatting tab and now we can see the fields that we have in the schedule, and family and type isn't really necessary, so we'll make that a hidden field. Under Count, we'll use this to calculate totals. Finally, we can check out the appearance. We're not going to see the appearance until we drop this schedule onto a sheet. What we can do here, however, is define whether we have grid lines, whether we have an outline or not, and whether there's a blank row before the data. We can also decide whether we want to show the title, show the headers, and the sizes of the text in the schedules, and click on OK. For the final test, let's put this onto a sheet. In the project browser, expand the sheets. We'll need to make a new sheet for this, so from the View tab, click on Sheet. We'll select the A1 metric sheet and click on OK. And at this point, we'll rename and renumber the sheet. Click on the sheet number. We'll call this E6001. And as for a name, Luminaire Schedule. The lighting fixture schedule in the project browser, click and drag it onto the sheet. Click to place. As you can see, this is a fairly long schedule, but I can see in here that there are some lines that are 2 lines, and I'd like this all to be single line. Up at the top, we can drag the grips to make sure that the schedules and the lines occupy only one line.